Ever noticed how repeated API calls for the same question still cost you tokens every time? We'll configure dspy's built-in caching with just one setting, then prove it works by comparing token usage between identical calls. The first run shows full token counts, while the second returns an empty usage report, demonstrating the cache in action.
Enable caching. dspy.configure. lm equals dspy. lm. OpenEye/GPT-4o mini. Cache equals true. Track usage equals true. Program equals my program. Hash first call will show usage statistics. Output equals program. Question equals what is the capital of Zambia? Print output. Get LM usage. Hash shows token usage. Hash second call same question. We'll use cache. Output equals program. Question equals what is the capital of Zambia? Print output. Get LM usage. Hash shows empty dict.
This demonstrates dspy's caching behavior through identical question handling. The code shows how enabling cache equals true makes repeated calls with the same input skip the language model entirely, returning the cached response instead. The distinctive aspect here is the transparent reduction of API calls for duplicate inputs without modifying the calling code. The pattern operates through exact input matching, where dspy automatically detects and reuses responses for identical questions. The first call processes normally and shows token usage, while the second call with the same question returns instantly with no token consumption, as evidenced by the empty usage dictionary. This maintains the original program interface while eliminating redundant processing for repeated identical inputs. This approach directly reduces costs and latency for repetitive queries, as shown by the empty usage stats on the second call. The benefit is most apparent in testing scenarios or applications with frequent duplicate questions, where the same input would otherwise trigger unnecessary API calls. The usage tracking makes the caching effect visible by contrasting token counts between cached and non-cached calls. Let's break it down line by line.
Enable caching. dspy.configure.
This sets up dspy's global configuration with cache equals true, which will store responses for identical inputs. The subsequent repeated question demonstrates this by returning an empty usage dict on the second call, proving the cache was hit.
lm equals dspy. lm. OpenEye/GPT-4o mini. Cache equals true.
This configures the language model to use GPT-4o mini with caching enabled. The cache equals true parameter stores responses for identical inputs, which the following duplicate question demonstrates by returning an empty usage dict on the second call.
Track usage equals true.
Enables token usage tracking for each language model call. The recorded metrics become accessible via getLM usage, as demonstrated in the subsequent print statements.
Program equals my program.
Instantiates the myProgram class that will handle question processing. This is the entry point for executing the program's logic in the subsequent steps.
Hash first call will show usage statistics. Output equals program. Question equals what is the capital of Zambia?
This executes the program with a new question, forcing the first actual API call to the language model. The response and token usage will be stored in cache for identical future requests.
Print output. Get LM usage. Hash shows token usage.
This prints the language model's token usage statistics for the current execution. The output lets you verify whether the call hit the API or used cached results, which is critical for debugging cache behavior.
Hash second call same question. We'll use cache. Output equals program. Question equals, what is the capital of Zambia?
This repeats the identical question, triggering the cache configured earlier. The second call reuses the cached response instead of querying the LM again, which is why getLMUsage will return an empty dict.
Print output, getLMUsage, hash shows empty dict.
This prints the language model usage metrics after the second identical call. The empty dictionary confirms no tokens were processed, proving the response came from cache rather than a new API call. This directly shows the caching behavior for repeated identical inputs. dspy program caching. The program object shows how identical inputs return cached outputs, with getLMUsage returning an empty dict on the second call when caching is enabled. Token usage statistics only appear for the first invocation, demonstrating the cache's effect on repeated identical questions. This behavior is controlled by the cache equals true setting in dspy. Configure.
The cache that remembers nothing answers twice.